This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. Major changes are planned for this year's Dunedin Midwinter Carnival, including a move away from the Octagon. The popular annual festival is set to become a ticketed event, taking place beside First Church on Moray Place.
Checking out this year's performance space, acrobats and performers practice a few moves on the grounds of Dunedin's First Church. The area surrounding the church will be turned into a magical wonderland for this year's Midwinter Carnival in early July as part of a range of changes. Last year's event attracted about 25,000 people to the Octagon, but festival chairman Paul Smith says admission this year will be by ticket only.
We were forced to change our plans because of COVID regulations, and we needed to have the option of controlling entry. And so this site gives us that option.
For the first time in its 25 years, entry to the main part of the midwinter celebrations will cost $5, helping raise funds for the non-profit organisation. The event will run over 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, with food stalls, lanterns and a range of performers to entertain the crowd. Organisers are also planning to build on last year's popular 3D animation show, which saw St Paul's Cathedral transformed using a video projected onto the church.
That projection will be an artwork in its own right, and they will alternate through the evening, and they'll be on the side of First Church, and it'll be mapped to fit the building. So it's quite a complex process, but very spectacular.
Smith is happy with the new location, which he believes will lend itself to becoming a magical space for families to enjoy while celebrating the positive side of winter.
I think we're really lucky with this site because it's probably the most beautiful site in the middle of Dunedin. It's got big, beautiful trees. It's a wonderful historic building. It's iconic, really.
The carnival has received money from Enterprise Dunedin to help increase the number of visitors to the city, with the festival coinciding with an All Blacks test in Dunedin. The carnival will take place on the evenings of the 8th and 9th of July. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A business survey in Dunedin has revealed strong support for keeping the State Highway 1 one-way system in the central city. The survey of Business South members found 87% preferred retaining the double one-way routes rather than changing to two-way traffic. Some members felt shifting to a two-way system would impede access to some businesses, create unnecessary traffic congestion and increase costs. However, a few respondents thought the change could give the city a more unified feel. Transport authorities say some changes to the central city roading network are needed to offset traffic disruption associated with the building of the new Dunedin Hospital. Waka Kotahi has backed an upgrade of State Highway 1, which retains the one-way system, but a majority of city councillors are advocating for a two-way model. A candlelit vigil was held last night in Dunedin's Octagon as a way of standing with the people of Ukraine. Organisers say they were very grateful for the support shown by the people of Dunedin.
A lone cellist adds to the sombre mood of last night's candlelit vigil for Ukraine in Dunedin's Octagon. More than 100 people gathered to reflect on the Russian invasion and its toll on the people of Ukraine.
They need food. They have COVID. They've lost loved ones. They've lost everything. And they're very proud, resilient people.
Candles symbolised a flicker of hope for those impacted by the ongoing war. Organiser Olha Vyazhenko says she's grateful for the support the people of Dunedin have been showing towards Ukraine.
It was wonderful. It was really amazing. So, you know, this spirit of so people were, I think, really connected in their feeling for Ukraine. and support, and yeah, I'm really grateful for Dunedin people who came today.
Many of those attending the evening vigil are hopeful Ukraine will repel the invading Russian forces. Vyazhenko is trying to remain positive and look to the future, with the hope family members currently in Ukraine will one day be able to visit Dunedin.
We are waiting for that moment when we will be able to bring our moms here. Really, I want to show moms this wonderful city and wonderful country, and we want them to be with us. So yeah, we are waiting for that.
It's been more than 60 days since Russia invaded its western neighbour. In Dunedin, the south today.
Residents in Arthur's Pass are frustrated by a lack of action as the Department of Conservation continues to investigate what will happen to the village's former visitor centre and museum. It's been closed for more than 2 years, but locals are hoping to reopen it as a hands-on museum.
The old visitor centre at Arthur's Pass continues to lie empty. The centre was closed to the public in early 2020, a few months before the pandemic began, due to the building being deemed earthquake-prone. A smaller temporary visitors information centre was opened across the road. But the fight continues to save the Alpine Village's historic visitor centre, with Arthur's Pass residents still waiting for the Department of Conservation to make up its mind.
What we'd really like to see is it restored and used again as a visitor centre, community centre, museum.
The Arthur's Pass National Park Visitor Centre was initially opened as a museum in 1959 in what was the South Island's first national park. But shortly after it opened, the former Lands and Survey Department took it over as a combined visitor centre and museum.
And it's been run in conjunction with the community ever since.
The closure in January 2020 was forced when the government decided all public departments had to be up to 100% national building standard.
That was the sort of final nail in the coffin when they said we had to pull out of there. We were operating in there, and with the building's been through a few big earthquakes and survived, but that's now those standards that DOC had to meet, and that's why we had to leave that.
He says DOC estimates it will cost $2 to $3 million to bring the building back up to code. But the community are hopeful they can reopen it as a museum and a conservation hub for the region for a lot less. In Arthur's Pass, the South Today.
Yakane, still to come on the South Today. Some Canterbury cattle are prepped, primed and pampered for a big sale day. And we take a walk down memory lane, celebrating over 100 years of weddings in Otago.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell menswear, it fits.
Johnny's gone bananas! My mate John's gone ape. John's made it easy to get the furniture you want today with 36 months interest-free. Johnny's gone bananas!
And my mate John.
Hi, we're Age Concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities,
including little walks.
Ooh.
Spark your joy with Jazz, the next generation from Honda.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Wanaka businesswomen got the chance to meet with National MP Nicola Willis yesterday and to pose questions to her. The National Party Deputy Leader and Finance spokesperson says Wanaka and the rest of the country should focus on its strengths when it comes to competing on the international business market.
A lot of this stuff isn't rocket science.
Speaking to businesswomen of the Wanaka region, National Party Deputy Leader Nicola Willis spoke to Ignite Wanaka on Thursday. Willis has been described as a social liberal and believes improving education is a positive investment in the country's future.
For me, education will always be a priority because I take a social investment approach, which is what are the investments we can make as a country now that will make a lasting difference to individuals in the long run and therefore to the long run prosperity of the country.
The 41-year-old started off as a research and policy advisor for Bill English and then went on to serve as a senior advisor to John Key. After National lost the election 6 years ago, Willis held senior management roles in Fonterra as well as serving on the board of Export NZ. She says an area such as Wanaka should play on its strengths when it comes to promoting itself on the international business market.
We're actually world leading in a number of areas. Let's be the best at producing sustainable food. Let's offer the best tourism there is. Let's have the smartest innovators. Let's have the best schools. That's my vision. It's completely achievable.
The event was held at the Edgewater Resort in Wanaka, the South today.
After 9 years of tireless service, 91-year-old Christchurch man Roy Labram has delivered his last meal for the Meals on Wheels food service. Roy and his trusty red car have become well known across Christchurch's eastern suburbs, having delivered hundreds of healthy meals in his time as a volunteer driver.
Roy Labram is a man with a mission. Get food out to the Christchurch residents living alone. He's been a volunteer delivery driver for the food service Meals on Wheels for 9 years. But now the 91-year-old has decided it's finally time to hang his keys up. Apart from the lockdown when all deliveries were halted, Roy's only had 6 days off over his time on the road.
Sometimes I do 2 runs a week, sometimes I do 3 or 4 type thing. Well, especially during Omnicom where we've been short of staff.
He signed up to be a Red Cross Meals on Wheels delivery driver in 2013, a few years after his wife and sister-in-law both passed away from cancer. He'd spent most of his time as their caregiver, leaving little time for cooking, which prompted Roy to sign them up for Meals on Wheels delivered. After they died, he decided he wanted to give back, signing himself up as a volunteer deliverer in his trusty red Toyota Fitz vehicle.
I go out every day, 7 days a week. Rain, hail, snow, sleet, makes no odds to me.
The former Navy man admits he'll miss the routine and all the friends he's made over the years.
I look forward to it, sort of style. In fact, I don't know what I'm going to do when I give it up. I'm going to be lost for a wee while.
Roy is looking forward to some rest and relaxation and reckons he'll even order some Meals on Wheels for himself during the winter. In Aranui, the South today.
The clipper, brushes and hairspray were out today near Christchurch as a collection of cattle were buffed and prepped for a big sale day on the stage.
There were cows in the back garden bar at Taitapu Hotel in Canterbury today, but the Queens of the Paddock were taking part in a sale held in a uniquely local setting. The party in the park was a novel way by well-known Taitapu stud breeders, the Geddes family, to reach out to buyers. 70 purebred cows, calves and yearlings were on offer, with some fetching over $28,000. To make the show more upmarket and appear more than just a meat market, the cows and calves were all primped and preened prior to the event. They were then paraded before more than 300 local and national buyers and farmers, all relaxing under the sun in the hotel's garden bar. Many more tuned into the spectacle via the online video link to watch and bid on the animals. A team of specialist cow fitters have spent the past few weeks clipping and cleaning the cows and calves, as well as teaching them how to parade in the ring. Australian specialist auctioneer Brian Leslie was brought in to ensure that the hotel stud sale was kept moving along. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Visitors to the Toitu Otago Settlers Museum are getting the opportunity to walk through more than 100 years of weddings in the region. The Big Day exhibition took many months to put together and features a comprehensive audio-visual look back at the outfits and accessories of yesteryear.
For those choosing to get married, it can be one of the greatest days of their lives. Now a new exhibition at Toitu Otago Settlers Museum is showcasing the region's wedding fashions and trends from the last 160 years.
And reflects the really strong holdings that we have of wedding costume, because it's something that people, you know, when you go to all the fuss of getting the wedding dress and the suits and all the rest of it, people tend to not throw them out, they hang on to them. So over the years we've been given a lot of wedding dresses.
Museum curator Sean Brosnahan says they've got so many wedding garments in their collection, any new pieces would have to be very special. The show in the Material Culture Gallery has taken a couple of months to put together, as some of the treasured garments needed to be aired.
Although people care for their wedding dresses, they tend to pack them up tight in old boxes and have them sitting in their cupboard. So when they come into the museum, they tend to be creased, and sometimes they've suffered a bit of damage over time and through the wear on the wedding day itself. So there's an enormous amount of effort went into preparing these for display by our collection team, and we had some expert assistance from conservators at Te Papa and Wellington as well.
Alongside the fabulous wedding frocks, the exhibition also features a collection of films and pictures from people's big days over the years. Among the static pictures are two slideshows, one of more modern weddings and another devoted to a Dunedin wedding dressmaker.
Well, Miss Tom was a dressmaker who lived in Dunedin, and over a very long period from the 1950s to 1980s, she made hundreds of wedding dresses and bridesmaids' dresses. And it seemed to be the case that all the brides sent her a copy of their wedding photograph, which she collected in a big group. And when she passed away, her niece clearing out the house gave all those photographs to the museum.
Brosnahan says if people look through the slideshow of Miss Tom's creations, they may be able to help identify some of the hundreds of people who she made wedding dresses for. The Big Day is set to be a long-term fixture in Toitu's Material Culture Gallery. In Dunedin, the South Today.
E whai Yakane. After the break on the South Today, the Otago Nuggets basketball team struggle in their season opener in Nelson, and we take a look at the weekend weather.
Drop when you
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Johnny's gone bananas! My mate John's gone ape. Check out Dunedin's biggest range of furniture and beds at Dunedin's lowest prices. Plus, get expert knowledge and unbeatable service. Johnny's gone bananas! Plus, John's made it easy to get the furniture you want today with 36 months interest-free. Johnny's gone bananas! On this weekend at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street, and online at mymatejohn.co.nz.
That furniture from Stafford Street and my mate John.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Tēnā welcome back. The Highlanders are hoping their first match against the Fijian Drua in Suva tomorrow will bring good fortune for the team. Coach Tony Brown has picked a new look loose forward trio for the game, and the former star player will bring up 100 games as part of the coaching staff for the Highlanders on Saturday, and admits it's been a problem area for the side.
Yeah, it's obviously a lot of guys, a lot of injuries at the moment, and then we're looking for guys who are really taking the opportunity, and we just probably feel as though we haven't had the performances that we've wanted in that back three area. Milestones don't really mean too much. For me, it's, you know, trying to get us playing the rugby that we want to play, and then obviously getting the results that we deserve.
And the Otago Nuggets were dismantled by the Nelson Giants last night in the opening game of the National Basketball League in Nelson. Round 1 of the 2022 Sal's NBL season was delayed by 3 weeks to improve fan safety and accommodate for players returning to New Zealand.
A poor first half sunk the Nuggets as Nelson import Trey Morning led the charge for the opponents with an impressive 35-point game performance. It was a test of the depth of the Nuggets squad, with Otago suffering from a lack of firepower. The team's 3 imports won't be joining the Nuggets until next week, while key local player Josh Aitchison was only just out of COVID isolation. Star centre Sam Timmins struggled for most of the game, coming to life in the fourth quarter to pull the Nuggets back to within 8 points down the stretch, but ultimately losing 88 points to 69. The Nuggets will face the Canterbury Rams in Christchurch on Saturday night. In Nelson, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Major changes are planned for Dunedin's Midwinter Carnival, including moving from the Octagon to First Church and charging for tickets. A sombre candlelit vigil was held in Dunedin's Octagon last night as a way of standing with the people of war-torn Ukraine. And Arthur's Pass residents are frustrated by a lack of action around the village's old visitor centre and museum, which closed more than 2 years ago. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome our associate Jo Simpson. Good evening, Jo. What have you been working on today?
Southern mayors say that the government's changes to the planned Three Waters reforms show that councils can gain traction without joining. 3 of Dunedin's key theatres are teaming up in the hopes of saving their facilities from falling apart.
Right.
A significant discharge of vapour from a Dunedin fertiliser works has been horrifying neighbouring residents and has reignited concerns about the location of the facility.
Oh, okay.
And the Southern District Health Board has unveiled a master plan for the new Dunedin Hospital, which includes a 500 car parking facility.
500 car parks? Wow, yes. That's a lot. Oh, I look forward to reading more about that in the weekend paper.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jo. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you.
And now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, a warmer north to northwesterly airflow will increase over the region this weekend, bringing rain to the west and mostly dry with high cloud further east. Heading to the top of the South Island first, fine with light winds tomorrow and a high of 17 for Nelson. Greymouth fine with evening cloud and 17 degrees, while Christchurch wakes up to fog, nor'easterlies during the day and 16 degrees. To our southern towns now. It'll be cloudy with fresh nor'westerlies through here for Balclutha, the Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, all with 17-degree highs. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes area, nor'westerlies and warm for Queenstown, Wanaka and Alexandra with 19, 20 and 21-degree highs. Te Ano's looking a bit cooler tomorrow with northerlies, a spot of rain and 16 degrees. Looking at the northern towns next, Timaru's in for 20 degrees with moderate northerlies and high cloud, while Awamaru gets 18 and nor'easterlies. Omarama and Twizel have another beautiful day on the way with 21 degrees and nor'westerlies. Down to Dunedin, looking fine tonight with nor'easterlies and a low of 8 degrees. Saturday will be sunny with high cloud and breezy nor'easterlies up to 17 and down to 11. And Sunday should be a perler with 21 degrees until the light rain heads for the Western Ranges late in the day, dropping down to 10 degrees as the low. And to the deep south, Invercargill will be mostly cloudy tonight, down to 10. Into the weekend, Saturday will be fine and cloudy with warm nor'westerlies, reaching 17 as the high and dropping to 11. Sunday slightly cooler with the chance of 16, or high of 16 actually, the chance of rain though, and nor'westerlies still hanging around, dropping to 11 degrees as the low. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira, kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.